For the final project, I chose to interview Connie Brown, the owner and operator of the Brown Cow Ice Cream Parlor, located at 7347 Madison Street in Forest Park, Illinois. Phone number 708-366-7970, or find them at browncowicecream.com. I worked for Connie Brown as of May or June of last year, just on an as-needed basis, and I do dough production. I thought that she would be a good person to interview. Her business is very successful. She just celebrated her 15th year this month. They opened in 2004. The Brown Cow Ice Cream Parlor has a creamery offering ice cream, a bakery offering fresh baked pies, cakes, brownies, cookies, and an old-fashioned soda fountain. They also cater, and they do host events like birthday parties for kids. I asked Connie Brown what she felt the need for human resources in the food industry is, and Connie told me that human resources is important, but it's becoming more and more important as requirements change for certification for food handlers. It's essential that these certifications are taken by employees, that they're done in a timely manner, and that those records are maintained. She also believes that human resources is instrumental in helping to make sure that the employees are on the same page regarding the organization's mission, its goals, production, and customer service. This is done during the orientation process, which is overseen by human resources, but it should continue throughout the length of employment. This sets the culture of the organization. We spoke about communication, leadership, and motivation. And she believes that communication, leadership, and motivation also begin the moment that an employee is hired. This too is incorporated in the human resources process, but it also should continue through the length of employment. This is generally held through the length of employment by department heads. In the ice cream parlor, we've got 3 different departments. We've got 3 different department heads. Connie says that her job is to create the culture and to pass that on to the managers, who then pass that on to the employees. The department heads can do this in different ways, but as long as they are successful, they're free to implement those qualities that create the culture in a way that works for them. Connie says that communication, leadership, and motivation, and creating a teamwork atmosphere in her organization is part of the culture, and the culture begins with her. She does recognize that not everyone has equal communication skills, but that as long as the work gets done and the message gets across in a positive manner, and that expectations are given, and the employee understands that the managers have a lot of leeway in the way that they want to execute that. Connie says that her shop is particularly interesting because she hires so many different generations. She has baby boomers like me, she has Gen Xers, she has millennials, and she's found that they all require different communication skills. She says she's learned a lot about herself through that process and her communication skills in working with these different generations. Some have different communication skills as well as different priorities, and their view of work is different. That kind of leads us back to something that we talked, a video that we watched or had the option to watch earlier in our class regarding intrinsic and external motivators. She says that's very apparent with the different generations. She's developed a program so that employees can provide input anonymously about their managers. So communication to her is a two-way street. It gives her insight, and although it might sound scary, it's really worked out pretty well. The employees feel that their input is valued, and she said it gives her a lot of food for thought and has created positive change in the organization. Working with such a diverse group of people has made her a better employer. I asked Connie what she does about conflict resolution, And she said she can pick up on potential conflict generally before it happens and tries to nip it in the bud immediately. She also said that most conflict comes from miscommunication. She prefers that conflict is resolved at the lowest possible level, preferably employee and employee, but sometimes the manager has to get involved, especially if it is a policy conflict. And she would prefer that it stay at that level, but if it has to go up to her, she recognizes its significance and she'll resolve the situation in a fair manner. She has only had to do that once. Unfortunately, it did lead to a termination, but it was a pretty serious conflict. She says that her managers know how to resolve conflict and that in her business, it's been pretty successful. As far as decision making, big decision making is done collaboratively. And she believes that she's given her managers the tools and the information that they need to make regular business decisions regarding their department on a day-to-day basis. She feels that allowing them to do this not only lightens her load, but she feels that it empowers her managers to help them make good decisions and to allow them some ownership. Regarding recruitment, interviewing, screening, training, and retention, Connie said that employee retention is something that the Brown Cow excels at in an industry that has a high turnover rate. She's not sure whether it is the type of employees that she hires or the type of work that they do. She does think that effective managers are key in keeping employees happy and wanting to continue to work there. For the Brown Cow, there isn't a high level of skill that is needed to be hired, but there is a high level of need for people with really good interpersonal skills and customer service. And she says sometimes that's harder to find. Connie's personal philosophy of managing people is that her employees and her customers are really the product, not necessarily the products that she has to offer, like ice cream, cake, fountain goods. She says that customers can get that anywhere. But what keeps people coming back to the Brown Cow is the experience that they have when they get there. And that is given by the employees. So the people are really her product. Connie recognizes that the experience is what will make the difference. She wants people to come through the door and to feel comfortable, that like they found their special place. The employees ask their names and treat them as family, not just customers and not just a number. The employees are part of the Brown Cow brand, and most of us are members of the community. And as employees, we work with the community. I like working at the Brown Cow, and although I work there only on an as-needed basis, I've learned an awful lot from this industry leader. I very much enjoyed asking her these questions and getting her insight on how to be an effective leader, and I think that'll help me moving forward. Thank you very much.